The Cleansing Revolution, a lesson in washing your face. In this podcast, Luke will be questioning myself on the first part of skincare and probably the most basic and crucial part of skincare, cleansing. What is it? What do you do it with? And what is double cleansing and all of the fun and frolics that are currently being discussed about the mode of double cleansing, and linking in some detail to a current Pink's Boutique campaign on cleansing. Are there any absolute no-nos in cleansing? What are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? And why is washing your face so important?
Okay, so kicking off, question number one, contestant number one.
Woo!
Use the word cleansing. I mean, people, maybe the guys amongst us talk about washing your face. Like, why cleansing? Why the word? What are you trying to get across when we talk about cleansing as opposed to just washing?
Okay, good question. You kind of answered the first part. Cleansing and washing definitely interchange. Now, the difference is washing implies water, I think, as a general rule. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Whereas cleansing implies that there is something added, another agent that is being used to cleanse, really remove other parts, so other layers, dirt, makeup, waste products that would be on your skin. And you could argue that sometimes washing may do that, but it doesn't do it entirely itself if you just used water. So cleansing, really, in layman's terms, is washing your face with something.
With something, that's right. And is there anything that you would instantly say not to wash your face with? Because you might run off and find a bar of soap or...
Okay, so what do you do it with? So we're going with the what do you not do it with?
Yeah, let's start by keeping it simple. What should we avoid washing our face with? If you're new to washing your face or cleansing your face in this case, what would you avoid before we start talking about the best way to do it?
Okay. In advance, I apologize if there are some slight generalizations in here. I could take every single one of these cleansing objects we're about to discuss and do a whole podcast on it. Let's go soap. Pretty much the most obvious answer.
Imperial leather, my granny's favourite.
Soap, you type into Google or any other competitor, should I wash my face with soap? And pretty much most of the things will say no. Now, again, generalization, there are some very different soaps out there. But as a base rule, the challenge with soap is that most soaps are alkaline. And skin on the pH scale is acidic. And so they don't tend to do very friendly things to your face. They will tend to dry it out because even though over the years people have improved soaps and tried to match pHs closer, it's never really there. And the agents that bind soap together, you have quite a much more higher level of surfactants within soaps. And they will all be drying.
Surfactants, just a recap on that. We hear them quite a lot. What are they in? What are they for? What are they generally... you've pointed out they generally dry your skin, but otherwise, what are the reasons to avoid them?
Good and bad cleansers, or cleansing agents, you will always have surfactants to some degree. And these are, I suppose at the most base, they're like the degreasers. They are the things that enable you to remove oily substances from the top at its most base. But as I said, I think actually that should go on a list of what are these ingredients. Surfactants are fascinating and quite complex and could be a whole thing on their own. Now, next on the list of not using is soap's friend, shower gel. And again, same problem. Like, they were not produced for your face. They are produced for your body. In my opinion, you shouldn't be using them on your body either, most of them. But again, they will have ingredients in. Most of them will be very foaming and bubbling, just to impress you and make you happy, as opposed to anything else, really. And you'll have lots of things like sodium lauryl sulfate and the sulfate family that really fundamentally are very drying to skin, but also I don't think that great at cleansing. Like, nobody's ever convinced me that those bubbling agents bring makeup off as brilliantly as some other objects. They make your skin feel very tight and very squeaky clean, but whether it's clean is a different question.
Well, that's interesting, because one of the things that we will talk about at some point in our education is shampoos. So the reason I mention that, and it's not as random a segue as you think, is we've been testing some shampoos recently, and one of the problems you have with natural organic shampoos is they tend to have a lower level of surfactant, and so you don't get that foaming effect. And it is partly psychological, but certainly with hair products, if you've got hair as long as Kirstie's, if you've seen the photo, it does begin to not feel as clean if you don't get that foaming, squeaky clean effect. And so I think that's a crossover, or I think it's just cultural. I think people have become, or over the past have thought, well, if it's not foaming, if it's not bubbly, it's not cleaning. But obviously we believe differently.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why at Pink's Boutique we haven't yet launched a shampoo. We have actually made shampoos. The challenge with them is that you at least have to wash your hair twice with them. I went 3 times with the one I was testing this morning. And still, even I felt like it wasn't as perfectly clean as I wanted it. And our basis of organic skincare has always been, it has to work and make you feel equivalent to using a mainstream brand. And if it doesn't, then there's going to be a problem, because then you will only appeal to the really dedicated hardcore organics. And for Pink's Boutique, it has never been about that. It's never been about compromise. This is about people who love their skincare, love their makeup, love everything that goes with being potentially a glamorous girl, and how you make it green.
So if you're in a rush, face wipes, that would be okay, wouldn't it?
Ha ha ha. He says that because he knows. He knows.
Well, you use muslins and clean your face, the feeling of a physical, cleaning off of the oil. What's wrong with a face wipe?
Physical cloths are very good in the right places. Face wipes, not so. Now, it would be fair to say that me, myself, but also hundreds of other therapists that I know hate face wipes. It is a proper soapbox. It is also
Here's a pun.
It is also the truth that I reckon at least half of the therapists when I go into a building still use face wipes. So you have really, really different things going on in a spa building. You'll have the owners, the operators, the spa managers at the top, not to generalize, but generally the older ones who all hate them. And then you'll be dealing with 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old therapists who use them. And the reason they use them are, one, they're very cheap. There's no getting away from that. And they're utterly convenient. Like, that is obviously why. I mean, they've been a revolution in facial. I'm not going to say cleansing because they're not cleansing, but they have been a revolution. Sales of them are dramatic, but they have some serious issues alongside them. The biggest thing is that, okay, first off, number one, they don't really take all your makeup off. You've got a bright white cloth that you rub on your face and you instantly see makeup on it. And somehow you then think that the makeup is all on it. They predominantly push makeup around your face. There is no way, compared to an oil-based cleanser and water, that the makeup is truly coming off. Number two, you have a pile of moist cloths that sit in a packet, that sit for probably at least 18 months on a shop near a halogen light in a warm surrounding, because most people like their shops to be relatively warm, not freezing. What is that? that is just a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. And so the manufacturers and brands that make them have to put a shed load of preservatives within them. So depending on the ones you pick, if you look through the INCI list, you'll get things like triclosan, parabens. My favorite MI, I can never say the full version of the methylethiazone, alcohol, different ethanols, and it all sits as residue on your face. Like, if you're going to use one, at least go and wash your face after. And I know that completely negates the point of doing it, but those products are not good then sitting on your skin overnight. And overall, they're quite drying. So you get real problems for aging skin. Number 3, that those ingredients are terrible around the eyes, worsened by the fact that you are then dragging your eye makeup because they're not taking it off brilliantly. So you're rubbing quite hard around your eyes. And then if you do get spots, they're no good for spots because what's left on your skin, the residue, is very drying. Your sebaceous glands just go, I need some more oil, and makes more oil. Or you've still got pores full of makeup. Very bad for spots. I'm sure they are counting towards the increase of acne for a lot of people. So you get sagging, pulling, dried eyes, spots. Just give them a test. Like, this is what I find quite interesting about them. And I would say the same about baby bottom wipes. Test removing stains with them. Okay, so you know when you put a top on and you get deodorant marks all over your top? Take a face wipe and take off one of those deodorant marks. Or put some biro on something and try and get it off. Fake tan. If you've got nasty bits of fake tan around your ankles, your wrists, your armpit, face wipes are unbelievable at helping. And it's because of those harsh chemicals and harsh preservatives. And then you go to sleep in it. Can I have one last one?
Okay, go on then.
Ignoring your face, and let's go in a bit bigger picture, the rest of the world.
You've stolen my point.
Okay, you go. Tell me.
Well, the other obvious point is the fact that most of them get thrown away. Well, they all get thrown away, and you essentially can't reuse them. So,
and most of them are not biodegradable. There are a few that are coming out that are, but those and baby wipes. No, and the Marine Conservation, I saw a study, them saying that since 2013, there's a 50% increase of the amount of said wipes that are ending up literally on the beach.
Because people are throwing them in the toilet thinking they're biodegradable, and they're not, so they get flushed through the whole system.
Yeah, because if you're lazy enough not to be asked to wash your own face, then you're probably lying in bed doing this, or you're just walking around your house. You throw them in the toilet. You're not going to walk to a proper bin and throw them away into the right recycling hole. I mean, if you're going to do that, I think you can probably just turn the tap on. They are for lazy people who don't care about their face.
So if it's not clear to anyone listening, don't use face wipes. Certainly not if you want to be Kirstie's friend. So we've talked about cleansing and what it is. We've talked about what not to use: soap, shower gel, wipes. But we haven't really talked about why you think it's the most important phase and why you need to kick off your skincare regime with a good cleanse.
Okay. Well, it kind of makes sense that it's first. And let there be no true statement that is ever said in skincare. If you don't get it right, and then you're spending 45, 50, 65, 70 pounds on moisturizers and serums that are going on to skin that is not properly cleansed, you are literally wasting your money. Like, you may as well just stop all of it. You've got to get the first stages of it right. And one of the things I think is quite an interesting test of a cleanser, and I am not telling you to do this because that would be wrong in skincare, and this is not at all what you would do every night, but have you ever just tried, take the cleanser or whatever it is you're using at the moment and try using just it, and then walk away, leave it, don't put anything else on. So don't tone, don't moisturize, don't put serum on. Nobody cut this out as a quote. This is not what I am telling you to do. And see what happens, because nearly 9 times out of 10, you'll find that your skin becomes uncomfortable, tight, doesn't feel very happy. And that is not the right cleanser for your skin. Like, you should almost be able to walk away after the cleansing stage and it feel okay. That's not what we advise. You need to do the other bits. But I'm kind of making my point about the cleansing element.
But it's how you get your face to a point, and your skin, more importantly, to a point where it's ready to receive the bonuses and the advantages of whatever you're putting on.
Totally. Which is kind of phased in. You've got to take off different layers. And we're going to talk about that, about what the different layers are, because by the end of the day, there's different waste products on your face, and they actually need thinking of them slightly differently.
So obviously we've seen the importance of cleansing, but the big trend, and certainly the big belief in this house, having discussed it on Radio 5 Live myself, is the
Tell us about that, Luke. What happened?
Is the double cleanse. Well, I decided, having listened to a phone-in recently on Radio 5 Live about men not being willing to discuss things they do that might not seem the most masculine. One guy I thought was awesome rang up and said he was knitting a rabbit for his friend's newborn baby. But skincare doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to be scary. It's quite simple, as Kirstie is very good at educating people about. But I went on and talked about my 5-step skincare routine, of which the beginning is a double
on
cleanse.
national radio at 11 o'clock in the morning.
And that's me, because it's something that I'm interested in and it makes me feel better. But I genuinely believe that, a double cleanse, or at least a good balm cleanser, is the way to start. So obviously, for myself, it's a double cleanse with our new men's cleansing balm, followed by...
Why did you go on the radio?
To be honest, I thought it would be interesting for someone to hear what an ex-rugby player does for a living, and how much time, well, not how much time, how much interest they take in their skincare routine. So as we were talking about, starts with a double cleanse, toner, serum, and then moisturizer on top. And seeing as we're talking about double cleansing, I've been using our clay cleanser from our men's range, which is soon to be launched, followed by our Pink's Boutique cleanser. So Kirstie can now describe to you some of the different benefits you get from those.
And who was the lady that was interviewing you?
Emma Burton, who decided that I had a more comprehensive skincare regime than she did.
She was quite astounded, wasn't she?
I'd like to say she was mildly impressed, but I think she was probably a bit concerned. Although, as I pointed out, it really doesn't take that long, and it's something that I enjoy in my day and makes me feel better about the way I'm doing things.
Okay, so Luke's been telling us about his routine, and he's brought up a new phrase. So we've been talking about cleansing. We've been talking about surfactants. Luke wants to tell me what the official version of a surfactant is, because remember, he is always like science team official around here. So what is a surfactant, Luke?
Well, surfactants are compounds that lower the surface tension between two liquids, so that they act as detergents, wetting agents, or foaming agents, which is obviously the thing that you
And they help emulsify, which is why I was saying you could almost do, and actually probably should, because they're one of the things that...
Why they're in so many products.
Yeah, why... And actually, they cause us quite a lot of problems in formulations. Like, my biggest problem was actually understanding them, because they have too much ability. And that's why they appear so frequently. And also, they are tricky in an organic
and people
world.
have become used to the sensation, so it's a re-education as to how products might feel.
Okay, so you have said out loud the phrase double cleansing. Okay, what do you think a double cleanse is?
I think a double cleanse is where you use your first product to get rid of the dirt and the grime and the top layer from your day's activities, followed by a lighter cleanser to get into the actual cells and clear up dead
skin. Do you
skin,
think maybe you know too much about skincare?
I should hope I know what I'm talking about.
What do you think most people would think a double cleanse is?
I think they would think it would just mean washing your face twice.
Yeah. Okay.
With maybe the same product.
Yeah. And to be honest, technically that would be a double cleanse. I think at its most base, double cleanse is 2 cleanses. However, the ideal is that we're going to do it with different things. Now,
and I forgot that the first one you would probably use a physical cloth to take off the cleanser, on the second
now
one.
he's just showing off.
Use your fingers and hands and a nice upwards massaging technique.
You hang around with too many girls.
No, just one very committed girl. Just before the room will start.
Now, there's loads of chatter at the moment in the retail beauty world and the beauty blogging world about double cleanses. The first thing I want to say is it is really, really, really not new. As professional facialists, and those of you listening who are therapists, we have done it since the moment we stepped into a college. Like, that is just always how it's been done. In a facial, you always get 2 cleanses, unless it's a maintenance or a very mini facial. But as professional facials, you always cleanse twice. And there's a really good reason for it, is that, to be honest, for most faces, once is not enough. And there are different layers. If you think about someone walking into a salon, or yourself when you get upstairs to your bathroom, there are different layers of dirt and grime on your skin, and certain cleansers deal better with certain items, or break through them better, remove them better, all the things we want. Like, cleansers are not all made equal, and we need to remember that. We've already discounted the soap, shower gel, face wipe route. So if you think about your face, if you wear makeup, or even if you don't, at the end of the day, you have potentially got eye makeup. If you are good, you've got an SPF, you've got your skin makeup, and then you've actually got the waste that is actually on your own skin, as in what you have been secreting from your sebaceous glands throughout the day. And that's why we believe it needs to be done twice. Are we on? Are we doing it twice? Luke is already.
So if you aren't doing it twice already, how do you do it?
You ask all the right questions.
Very clever.
In the evening, this is it. This is when it happens. So really you want to think about your cleansing, double cleansing, as an evening activity. Okay. So your cleanse 1 is about getting your eye makeup off, breaking through your SPF and your foundation, presuming that you have those on. And balmy, oily things are best. You need grease. You need oil to fight oil. It breaks through it quicker than anything else. Now, if you wear lots of eye makeup, you might want to take your balmy, oily cleanser and deal with your eyes first, just on a cotton pad. Or if it's a minimal to medium amount of eye makeup, then you want to watch the How Kirstie Washes Her Face video and do it the lazy way, where I essentially apply Pink's Boutique Deep Cleanse Melt all over, including my eyes, and I turn into a giant panda. But I would concentrate your eyes first, and then your first cleanser, as Luke said earlier, you want it to come off with a muslin cloth, with a soft flannel. And in a Pink's Boutique world, we would suggest using our balm cleansers for these. We've got 3 of them. So you've got Deep Cleanse Melt for more combination oily skins, Hydrate Deep Cleanse Melt, which are for sensitive dehydrated skins, and our Anti-Age Deep Cleanse Melt, which is won lots of beautiful awards for dry, mature skins. Now, I always have been really open. I know I own a brand, and clearly I would like you to use my brand. However, I was a skin educator and tutor before I did that, and I've always believed in making sure people understand the basis before they understand the brand names and the fancy brand part. So if you are not a Pink's Boutique user, obviously I'd probably like you a teeny weeny bit less, but what you're looking for this first cleanse is a balm-based cleanser. You want it to be plant-based and ideally organic, or potentially an oil cleanser, so you can get oil cleansers as well.
Okay, so that's your first cleanse, and then you go straight into your second cleanse. And obviously, as we discussed earlier, that's a slightly different product.
Yeah, now it's a different product, and we do this one slightly differently. So this is the one whereas in a facial, and you should do at home, you really want to start increasing the massage as well. So like your dentist would say to stand and brush your teeth for 2 minutes, you want to make sure, ideally, you are massaging this around your face for 2 minutes each night as well, with really nice big upwards movements. Because one of the other benefits of doing a double cleanse is that you are increasing blood flow to your face. And whatever product you're using, blood flow to your face is never going to be a bad thing. It brings nutrients. Very good. What else, Lucas?
Oxygen.
Yeah, oxygen.
Takes waste away.
GCSE biology. Here we come. But it does. And that power boost of blood makes a difference. If you did it every night over a lifetime, it would make a huge difference.
And so what sort of products? We talked about balm cleansers and oil cleansers for our first cleanse, the first part of the double cleanse. How the product's different? Can you use the same one again? Is it about, as you said, the application and the taking away?
You could use a balm or an oil cleanser for this one. Like, again, I'm always truthful, you could. So at the point where your wallet only affords you to buy one, then you could have a balm cleanser and do it for both cleanses. My personal preference had always been to go to a more creamy based cleanser or a clay cleanser. Now, when I say creamy cleanser, I don't mean a white skinny lotion that looks like a cream. I mean a really good plant oil-based
So we're talking
cleanser.
Double Cornish cream as opposed to single UHT.
Exactly. And there's no like Elmley.
Highly preserved, will last forever. Non-cream cream. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Like our ochre cleanser, like our lemongrass cleanser. The other thing is, and you mentioned it earlier, I really love on my skin as well, clay cleansers. Now, we don't have one in Pink's Boutique. We've got one coming out, and I have a feeling that there's going to be lots of ladies stealing that for their second cleanse.
There's already one lady stealing mine.
So your second cleanse, big massage, give your skin some love, take it off with warm water, cloth, pat it dry, onto the toner. And you know what? I really don't think it takes that long doing two.
No, when we come to launching our men's skincare regime, we're going to talk about actually, if you are enjoying spending time in the mirror, then you can make it last as long as you like. But ultimately, you can get up and do it in 3 or 4 minutes and get your whole routine done and still get the benefits, but you'll feel a bit more efficient.
And it sounds really obvious, but obviously doing it twice, you are removing more. You've got a much higher chance of getting everything off.
True, absolutely. Would you definitely not do it in the morning? Is it just a time thing? You talked about potentially just being a PM, the double cleanse.
Okay, AM, morning.
Thanks for that, listening. The 24-hour clock.
One cleanse is fine. You've been in bed. You haven't got SPF on. You don't have your makeup on. There isn't any pollution, hopefully, because you're in bed. And you did such a good job of double cleansing last night, right?
That's true.
That I really think one is fine. Now, the big question then is, you've now got 2 in your bathroom. Which one do you choose in the morning? And that probably depends on what
you're going to do with your skin for the rest of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And people don't think about that. You got to think about where your skin is going on its travels. For instance, if it is Sunday and you are undertaking what I call Sunday skin, so take on Sunday school.
You're not putting makeup on.
Yeah, because you don't need to. You're not going anywhere. You're giving your skin a break.
Morning.
Yeah, then you could use either one, milk. Now, if you are going to put a face full of makeup on and head into the middle of London on a tube, then I personally would go for the more balmy options, because you have a softer, more hydrated skin from the beginning. And over time and over the day, you'll find that your makeup tends to sit better for longer. And then when you come back, you go straight back to your number 2, your double cleanse, because it is nighttime. So yeah, I think honestly for the morning, you'd be fine.
Fantastic. I'm already a convert, but I'm sure there'll be many people out there wanting to experience it and try it some more, and there'll be lots of videos to follow up when you look in the show notes.
So just a bit of a brief recap for the types of cleansers that exist, just in case I haven't been crystal clear. So you have cream cleansers. Okay, they are the white, creamy looking ones, but they consist from very thin, skinny lotions to very thick, high quality oil, plant-based cream cleansers. Okay, you get oil cleansers that are literally, they look like a bottle of oil. You get balm cleansers that look like hard butter and then tend to melt down. You get soap and shower gel, not really in the cleansing list. Facial wipes shouldn't be in the cleansing list. Clay cleansers. Clay cleansers look like cream cleansers, but they have clay particles inside them. So they also have the benefit of the natural clays within them. And the other one that probably should go in this list, 2 more, and actually they go on my no list. I missed them earlier. Foaming cleansers. Now, lots of people use foaming cleansers, and even some very highly qualified facialists that I know. This is the shampoo bit. Foaming cleansers are shampoo for your face. They are sodium lauryl sulfate, bubbling agents, drying, itchy, eczema enraging, not nice, but they make your face feel squeaky clean. And like we just talked about with shampoo, unfortunately, a lot of people have conditioned themselves to like that. Your skin does not like it. Like whoever coined the phrase squeaky clean skin, I've said before, just should be shot. So the foaming cleansers are not on the list for me. And then you might have also have you come across micellar waters?
No, I haven't. It sounds like still a black ball.
Micellar waters physically look closer to a toner, but they're put into the cleansing category. Now, I'm not quite as adamant about them as I am about foaming cleansers and wipes, but I think you should see them as an addition to your cleanse or your double cleanse, not a replacement of. Like, they may just be about okay if you wear no makeup, no SPF, but they don't have enough oil or balm base to ultimately really remove anything else. So yes, as a freshening potential extra layer, but as your only cleanser, pretty weak.
So that has been a very conclusive and inclusive look at the cleansing revolution.
Yeah. Now, the reason we are talking about it is because Pink's Boutique are launching a cleanse campaign, the Organic Double Cleanse Revolution. And we want people to be involved. And obviously you need to start at the beginning, explaining what it is. And our mission over the next few months is going to be to help people learn to wash their face properly. And we're doing this in a number of ways. We're going to be launching a new limited edition Try Me box where you get a balm base and a cream cleanser and your muslin cloth.
You got no excuse not to try it.
We've got some really strong, over-opinionated messages coming from Kirstie about...
If you haven't had enough already this evening,
about
face wipes.
Banning face wipes and not being a lazy wench and learning to wash your face. And we are doing a big gift with purchase campaign to fit around these, to make sure that you can buy your cream and your balm cleanser by us giving one part of those away free. And everything is going to be a big celebration of cleansing and washing.
And it's not going away. It's going to be around for a while. It's going to be our big thing. Because the one thing I've learned recently is that idea that it's pointless putting expensive, active, results-driven products on top of dirt and rubbish and the day's grime when you should really be learning to clean it off, add that blood flow, bring your face to life, and then put in the great products.
Expect it to be a campaign that we keep revisiting and, like say, keep talking about. And also our salons and spas will be doing the same, because ultimately good skincare starts at the beginning, and the beginning is cleansing.
Well, thank you very much. As I said, there'll be more stuff going on at Pink's Boutique 1 on Instagram, at Pink's Boutique Twitter. We'll be putting a blog out there as well, lots of more interesting stuff. But thank you, Kirstie, for your enlightening walk through the double cleanse.
You try and say I'm opinionated.
I'm trying to use my words carefully. But for those of you who listen, thanks ever so much. Share, like, and we look forward to speaking to you. Have a great evening.
Go wash your face.
Bye.